Well, good afternoon. I'm Steve Coad. I am the Southern Regional Sales Manager for TVI Market Pro 3, and
I'm Lauren Marzella, Vice President of Growth and Client Success for our Unotifi division.
and I will tell you that Lauren has so many skills in this business that I think we should make her Vice President of Global Operations, right along with her capabilities. And we talked a little bit before we came up here, Lauren. We wanted to talk about bringing in the right car at the right time, and I think that this is the right time to talk about that, because if you look at the last several years since COVID, vehicle sales have been down. People are keeping their cars longer and longer. But as an industry, we really haven't changed our strategy. We're still chasing that 1 to 3 year old car with almost everything that we do. And while I do have some clients who do a very good job of going after older vehicles, can you share some of your thoughts on me with how to target those clients?
Yeah, marketing for the most part has gotten a lot smarter over the last handful of years, which is a huge advantage not only for the companies that supply it, but also for their dealers. And right along with what Steve said, one of the biggest problems that we're facing is that vehicles are aging significantly more than they previously did. So average age of the vehicle right now is around 12 years. And so abandoning the marketing of those cars after they have come off warranty is a detriment to the service department and to its growth and its business model. So we have the luxury of being able to put together a really smart query-based marketing plan that has the ability to target very finite segments of individuals with multiple different forms of media. And the biggest thing is that this is intelligent marketing, so it gets smarter the more time that passes, and as we learn that customer and learn about their customer behavior and buying habits. And it gives us the ability to communicate with all of those customers at the right time, to Steve's point, but also at the time that is most important for the dealership, which is after that point of defection.
Yes, and I think that the combination that TVI has now with Market Pro 3 and with Unotifi allows us to really get granular on that. Some of the things that I've seen that the dealerships do that we've helped them with, I really like, are going after older four-wheel drive, full-size pickups and SUVs. I have a Toyota store right now that's doing that, and we are very specifically going after vehicles that are more than 7 years old, that had more than 80,000 miles at the last visit, but have not been back in over a year, and then they have not had any major services that we can find recently. And what we're finding is this time of year, right after all these guys have been on their big trips, going out west and everything, they can come in for a differential service. By the time it's finished, they put on brakes, they've done all these different things. And with Unotifi and Market Pro 3 combined, as you mentioned, is smart marketing. We're able to target that client. And then what we found is when we go after those older vehicles, that obviously the dollars per RO are higher. But then as dealerships have started experimenting more with this, what we're finding is vehicles even 20 years old will come into that dealership and have service done. And I hate to sound like somebody's old grandpa or something, but I drive my vehicles until the wheels fall off. And I have a Jeep with 240,000 miles on and a Buick with 183,000. And I can tell you, I don't even hesitate to go and spend $2,000-$3,000 on those vehicles if they need it. And I was just talking at a very, very large Toyota store in San Antonio last week, and I was talking with the service manager. He was showing me all the ROs that they had brought in on vehicles that were 15, 20 years old, Camrys, Tundras, Tacomas, Sequoias, and these guys are spending $3,000 on a lot of these vehicles. So he has learned to use our products to really target those vehicles, bring them in, and what he's also found is you treat those people like they have a new vehicle, they keep coming back.
Well, yeah, and the beauty of intelligent marketing is that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach, right? So we have the ability to designate certain customer segments exactly as you're talking about. So we can differ those messages based on who those customers are and make sure that we're really pinpointing what their needs are based on not only the vehicle that they're driving, but what those consumer habits are. So it's really important as you evolve your marketing strategy that you look to the marriage of your BDC and your marketing department. Having those two departments be separate from one another with not a lot of communication or cohesion is really detrimental to the strategy. And making sure that when we pinpoint those segments that we have specific types of media that is going to be best to intercept those customers and get them to come in. So predominantly there's certain types of individuals or certain types of campaigns that are very high touch, they're very sensitive. We want to make sure that we have a human element still, even in the age of AI, that is continuing to touch those individuals. And then there's also some customers that we can communicate with in a methodology where we don't need that human element. So it's going to do a couple of different things. It enhances that strategy, but it also puts your money where the most efficient use of that is, and it doesn't waste any resources from either your folks that are working for you or working with you and on your pocketbook. So,
let me ask you: Have you seen any trends lately? Not just the overall like trying to find these older vehicles. Have you seen any trends in how people are targeting them? Or are you seeing people just use multiple strategies?
Yeah, I think that you're spot on where people tend to abandon those customers at that 3 to 5 year mark, whether they have purchased an extended warranty or if they're just using the manufacturer's warranty. There's a thought process there that those individuals are automatically going to begin going to an independent repair facility or searching for deals elsewhere where their perception is that it's less expensive. And so the biggest thing I think that we can do is continue to communicate with these customers that there isn't much of a cost difference between going to an independent repair facility and staying with the franchise dealer, that there's far more positives to staying with the franchise dealers than there are to defecting and going elsewhere that's less trustworthy and not manufacturer specific regardless of the age of the vehicle.
And I think you really hit on something important right there, because whenever I'm speaking with a dealer, I try to make sure that the number one message they should get out is that their pricing really isn't much different, if at all. And then if I had to think of one thing, what would that one thing be that benefits the customer? Is that massive dealer network. They come into a dealership right here in Las Vegas and have service done on their older vehicle, and then they drive over to Florida for vacation and they have a problem. That vehicle's covered under warranty by the manufacturer from that warranty. So that was a great point.
Yeah, the customer's perception is their reality, and so dealers have had the hard job of trying to change that customer perception about price and authenticity for as long as we can remember. And the only thing that we can do from a marketing perspective is continue to reinforce what it is that we know, that there isn't a big price discrepancy, but there's a very big discrepancy when it comes to the amount of protection that you have and the reliability that it comes to when you're using manufacturer genuine parts. So messaging is incredibly important as we continue to kind of navigate that difficult space.
And one last thought that I have that ties into both Unotifi and Market Pro 3 is the recall check. Because these older vehicles still have recalls, and it's a chance to get them in there. And I've had the opportunity to look at hundreds, thousands of repair orders on older vehicles that came in for a recall, but they ended up going out with several $100s of customer pay added to it, and they have gotten that safety recall taken care of as well. So I could, as much as you should do a podcast, Lauren. So
stay tuned.
So I think that this is a great subject, something that we should think about more often, and I appreciate the expertise you brought to me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you very much.